Hi guys, welcome back to Kim's class. In the next 3 lessons, we're going to examine some common sentence errors in English. In the first lesson, I'll give a basic overview of all of the common errors. In the 2 lessons after that, I'll go into a little more detail about each of those errors individually. After each lesson, there will be a link to an activity that you can practice some of what you have learned. You'll find that link for those activities in the description of each video. So today's lesson is going to be on run-ons and comma splices. But before I begin, I want to let you know that if you'd like to follow along with a notes page for this video, you'll find a link in the section below where you can take notes while you're watching the video. It's very helpful and makes learning easier and a little more interesting when you can take notes. So you'll find that page in the link below. So let's go ahead now and talk about what is a run-on. So a run-on is a sentence that is created when 2 or sometimes more independent clauses, which are complete sentences, are placed together without proper punctuation or connecting words. So here we have an example sentence. That cat is naked. I hope he's naked. Cats shouldn't wear clothes. But anyway, now let's look at this fused run-on. I like Skittles, they are sweet. Do you see how there's 2 independent clauses in there? Or 2 complete sentences? That's a fused run-on. Now sometimes people think they can just put a comma between it, but that doesn't always work. Let's look at this example of a comma splice. My teacher is crazy. She really likes her students. Now, you can see that that comma is not in the right place. It's a bad comma. We don't use a comma when we have 2 independent clauses. Let's look at an example of a large run-on sentence. Remember in the other video I explained to you that a run-on sentence is like somebody talking and talking and talking and they don't take a breath. So when I read this run-on sentence, I have to take a great big breath so that I can get through. Because technically we don't pause unless there's a period. So let's go ahead and listen as I read this run-on sentence. Ready? This one time at band camp, I met a friend who was imaginary and it looked like a pink unicorn, but it wasn't. But I thought it was, so I tried to jump on it. It wasn't real, so I landed in the pool. I didn't know how to swim and I floundered for help. Finally, someone rescued me. I'm such a ditz. I couldn't even read that sentence without taking a breath. That is a run-on sentence. So how do you fix something like that? Well, one thing you can do is add a period and a capital letter. Many. That sentence needed many periods and capital letters. But be careful, don't create a choppy sentence. The second thing that you can do to fix a run-on is add a semicolon. The third thing that you can do is add a comma and a coordinating conjunction. And let's look at an example of some of those coordinating conjunctions. I know we've talked about it now 3 times, but it's always good to review those fanboys. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Now, we cannot use conjunctions as transitions, but you can use them to join words, phrases, and complete sentences. Now, if you really want to get fancy, there's a fourth option, and we've touched on this a couple times before in the previous lessons. That's conjunctive adverbs. So again, the format for conjunctive adverbs is a semicolon, then the adverb, then a comma. When you put those together, you get a conjunctive adverb. Here's an example sentence using a conjunctive adverb. He just swam with pigs. Consequently, he is smelly. So maybe you're not sure exactly what adverbs you can use as conjunctive adverbs. Now remember, I did do a lesson on parts of speech where we talked about these types of adverbs. You can always look that video up and get a little review about what adverbs are and how we use them. But on your screen, you see some examples of very common conjunctive adverbs. I suggest you write some of these adverbs down so that you can use it in your practice here today and in your writing later. Go ahead and write those down and then come back and see me and we'll move on. So now hopefully you've written down some of those conjunctive adverbs. And of course I know you know the fanboys. So now what I'd like you to do is fix these run-ons. On your screen you're going to see 6 sentences that are run-ons. I want you to try to fix these run-ons using the 4 different ways that we've talked about. Pause your video, fix the run-ons, and then come back on screen and I'll give you some examples. Go ahead and pause your video now. So let's look at how I fixed these run-ons. Now remember, your answers might be very different. Matter of fact, I'm sure they are different. Let's just keep in mind I tried to use all of the different fixes. If you want feedback on your sentences, write them in the comments section. I'd love to see them. But here's what I did to my sentences. Number 1, I can't believe the Cubs won the World Series. I didn't think it was possible because of the curse of the goat. Number 2, a while ago, Mark McGwire played for the Cardinals. However, he was caught doping and had to leave the team. Number 3, I felt bad for the player who got tagged out at second. He did a face plant into the base. Number 4, 20 years ago, I slid into third base on my knee. As a result, I have a scar. Number 5, stop staring at me or I will throw a potato at you. And number 6, nobody likes to see pictures of your poop on Facebook. That's gross. Now remember, your sentences might look very different. You can add words, use conjunctions, use adverbs, or break the sentences up into 2. But if you would like me to see what you did, write it in the comments section and I'll give you some feedback. So just like all of the other activities, in the comments section below or in the description of the video, you'll find some links to activities that will help you study what you have learned. Take advantage of those opportunities and work on these activities. I realize that may have been a lot of information, but I want you to know that there are some advantages to having these lessons on video. I do wish I could be in class with you face to face, but having this on video means that you can stop the video, write notes, and even play things again if you didn't understand them the first time. Now remember also there are some activities that you can do that will help you practice some of these errors that we talked about today. You'll find links to those activities either in the comments section below or in the description. But for now, I'm ready to say goodbye. But before I do, let me ask you to do a few things for me, if you don't mind. If you found this video helpful, I would love it if you could like the video. You could also share this video with your friends and family. If you want to know when new videos are posted, subscribe. Then you'll get a notification every single time I post a new video. And of course, I really appreciate your comments. I like to hear from you. Write me some sentences that you learned from this video. And last, please know what a blessing it is for me to share my passion with you. Thank you for allowing me to come on this journey with you to learn English. Goodbye for now. I know I'll see you soon.